Morning, we're here at CLAAS UK. I'm here as well as our 3 combine operators and Simon, our farm engineer, to learn what these combines have to offer and how we can drive them to get the most out of them this coming season. CLAAS UK have kindly given us access to their training centre today. We're going to be looking at how to really optimise output and efficiency of our machines. We're going to look around the parts centre here, and we're also going to be looking around the CLAAS Academy where they train all their apprentices and technicians.
Right, hi guys, my name's Rob Portman. I'm the Combine Product Manager here at CLAAS UK. My role essentially in the UK is to support our dealers. So I would be the link between CLAAS UK as a distributor and our dealer network itself. So again, if the sales guys, if the likes of Mans, James's dealer, needs a bit of support, then we can support Mans, we can support James and Tom with the likes of any of their specific questions, be that on the combines, which is what I specialise in. You join us here today for our operators training courses. So we run operators training courses through the months of May and June for all of our operators that have purchased new combines for this harvest season. So for this year, I think we're roughly around about the just over 200 to 250 people mark. Quite a lot of people to get through the door, a lot of people to train, and that's the key role for us really, is to, we're not expecting operators to jump on the seat and know everything straight away, of course. So we invite them here to Saxon, which is what we're doing with the PX Farm guys today. And essentially we're going to take them through all the different areas of the combine you need to know, the maintenance, the adjustments, the optimization, all the key things that we need to know to get the very best out of the machines we've got behind us in the field. Because of course, at the end of the day, you can put a combine in the field, but if the operator doesn't know all the buttons and how everything works correctly, then they can either do a very good job or maybe a slightly worse job in that fact as well. So that's what we're going to see. Now you'll see us today cover a lot of different stations. You'll see different areas of the machine, whether it be the cutter bar, the combine itself, and as I've said, the optimization points. And you can see that we're going to do that with some of the rigs in and around the room today as well. So as I said, hope you enjoy what you see. And again, if you do maybe purchase a machine in the future, then we'd like to see your face and we'd like to see you here at Saxon as well. So what we've essentially done here is for this station, we pull the physical armrest out of the machine we've got to the right-hand side. That for us helps the operators understand, as I say, some of the buttons, some of the functionalities. So the likes of our new Lexion combines, we have new touchscreen abilities with the new screen. We have new functions options on the right-hand side, and we have some changes to the joystick as well. So again, it really gives the guys and girls a bit of an idea as to, again, how to get in, how to adjust some of the settings, what things that we can get in, and we don't have to try and cram 20 people into the cab of a combine, which is obviously not something that's very ideal to do. So not just with that, we also have the props. Again, I can shout at people, I can point at it when I've got 20 people sat in front of us. So again, try and explain the very best as to what we can also achieve. And then also in the background, we've got our simulator system. So not only have we got the armrest essentially pulled out of a real machine, we've actually then developed a simulator system which is taking the combine canvas, so the basic understanding the computer system of the combine, and we can actually then put that through a computer-based system and we can simulate essentially the machine working in real-life crop as well. So obviously today it's a very, very wet June day, or May day I should say, sorry. But essentially this gives us the opportunity, I can talk to the guys and girls about loss optimization, I can talk about the CMOS, the automatic features if they have them, and I can talk a little bit about what settings we maybe need to adjust to try and again fine-tune the combine. If we're seeing maybe a little bit too much rotor loss, a bit too much separation loss, I can show the guys and girls as to which way we can work the machine essentially for that reason. And the nice thing for us, it really does give the operators a bit of an interactive feel to it. It's not just me talking to presentation, slideshow of 100 slides and talking through it. It gives the guys and girls a bit of an opportunity to actually ask questions. Maybe they've had a scenario where they've had a combine in the past and they want to know what to do. And that's what we try and do. We try to make it, as interactive and as open as possible for those very reasons. Good, so you now join us alongside our actual machine in the workshop itself. This is a Lexion 8900 that we've borrowed. What we do in this station, we do it in 2 different ways. So the very first thing we do is we get the likes of Tom and John and Aaron. They'll take the guys and the girls around the machine, and we focus more so on the maintenance points. Obviously, for many operators today, they know their machines in and out, and they'll be spending a lot of time with their machines, not just with it working, but of course doing the greasing process, doing the adjustments process. And of course, we want to give them all the knowledge that we can to be able to give them the ability to maybe spot if something's not quite right, or if something isn't quite right, then how to adjust it, and again, maybe maintain that machine as well. So we do it for the likes of the adjustment systems, we do it for the greasing points, because of course, on our new generation Lexions. We launched them back in 2019. We changed a lot of the maintenance elements of the combines compared to the previous combines. So for James's combines, obviously the maintenance elements will be very different on the new generation. So we show the guys and the girls, again, greasing points, how to grease them, why we're doing so. We show them again for the tensioning of the belts. So our main drive line, the whole drive line of the combine itself has changed quite substantially. So again, how we're tensioning those belt units up and what we're going to do with those belt units as well. And then of course things we can look out for too. So again, as harvest happens, in an ideal situation, it'd be great if it was 15% crop all the year through, or the harvest through. It never is. So for the wetter, heavier climates we have over here in the UK, which is of course a thing as today shows, then of course there's going to be potential where there's going to be more hardship on the combines, especially in certain areas of the machines as well. So we like to keep the operators up to date as to where those areas may be. Again, if there's maybe a tension or a pulley they'd have to look at a little bit more intensely as the season goes on, then that's something we like to do on this stage. We try and be as white, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to sell you the combine. At this point, the machine is sold. We'd much rather be it from an operator's point and talk about the benefits and try and talk about how we're going to get the very kind of best out of the machine itself for those reasons. So that's what we try and focus on in this area. So again, operators really, that's what we're trying to focus on. Trying to get them to be able to know the machine, what to look after. Now, there is always going to be a service, a dealer element too. If something goes terribly wrong for whatever reason, then of course there's going to be some things we wouldn't expect the farmer, the operator, to look after as well. So that's where any of our dealers in the UK, they are actually then of course licensed and trained to do the very same work on these machines to a much higher rate or a much more knowledgeable level. So again, that's what we also do here in the Academy. The Academy guys, during the winter, will take all of our dealer staff or all of our technician staff into the workshops, and of course they'll run through various different courses. Now that might be on the likes of the combine, it might be on the cutter bars, it might be on any of our other products as well, tractors, foragers, the list goes on and on. One thing we do a little bit differently as well is all of our engine systems. So the engines, of course, we fit in our combines, they are not made by CLAAS. So they'll be made by Mercedes, MAN, Cummins, any of those manufacturers. But the nice thing for us is we as CLAAS are licensed to look after those engines. So if there was an engine problem, then we wouldn't expect the engine manufacturer to come out and fix it because they don't always maybe work in all of the harvest hours. We, of course, then can license our dealers to work on the engines too. So we have our own engine training facilities here at CLAAS UK as well. So that means Mans, the dealer, for example, today, they could go out and they can actually work on the cutter bar, the combine, the GPS system, but also the engine and the power units as well. So that's what we're trying to do, is to give us the best coverage and the best level of support we can from a CUK point of view and from a dealer point of view as well. So what we essentially do through telematics, we use telematics for a lot of various different bits, as you'll know. So we can put obviously all your yield data, we can look at your maps, we can look at all your campaign reports, but we also then have the combine leaderboard. So essentially what this does, takes all the combines in the UK, takes all their data, we can actually then input, or you as a customer can input what crop you're cutting, and you can put your serial number in, and then actually will give you a bit of a gauge as to how you're kind of performing against, let's say, some other machines in the UK. It's not really, we don't use it as a kind of a, who's the best and how that works. Of course, some ways, some people like to look at it that way. For us, really, it gives you the opportunity that you can get a bit of a scope as to what everyone's doing. So if you're maybe thinking, oh, this is a bit of a hard day's cutting, is everyone else limited? Then it gives you an idea that maybe everyone else is struggling a bit as well, so it maybe takes the worry away. There is also the optimization level. So if you do think, oh, there's some combines here that we can see they're doing a bit more tonnage than we are, you can actually click in and you can see what variety they're running. You can sometimes see their names if they're willing to put their name in, but you can also see their settings as well. So if you said, okay, I'm running my drum at this speed and my concave at that size, then let's try maybe running it at a slightly different size as well. So those customers, if you have CMOS, of course, CMOS will try and adjust your settings, but not everyone does, of course, so that gives them the opportunity that they can go in and have a look at some of the settings and have a bit of a play. So customers always like to see, where am I on the combine leaderboard today? Make sure, try and get themselves up as high as they can possibly go, and that in their heads then means that they know they've got the machine well optimized as well. Some people never look at it, but it's just another side of things, a bit of fun we also have, and we can try and help you guys out as well, just to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah, so hi there, my name is John, and I'm the Senior Technical Trainer here at CLAAS UK for the Apprenticeship Programme. Our Apprenticeship Programme has been running in-house for 3 years now, so 2021 is when we officially started, and we are now on our third cohort of apprentices coming through. Prior to this, our apprenticeship programme was running from 2001, and we used third-party colleges for this scheme. But we wanted to bring this in-house to give us more control and to really emphasise and really push in the detail we wanted for our apprenticeships to increase the standard to our engineers out in the field and to our dealerships, and realistically to our customers as well. So we brought our apprenticeship in-house in 2021, and since then the program's been growing and growing and growing, starting off with a cohort of 10, and we're now here in 2024 with a cohort of 22, looking to increase that to 30 cohorts in this, September of this year. So increasing again and again and again. I'm currently in one of our apprenticeship workshops. This is part of our engine block, so this block of 3 weeks is for our engines of our apprenticeship. So the delegates are the delegates are using and looking at engines across the whole spectrum of the range. So not just a big V8 engine, but also a little inline 4 engine, even 2-stroke. So they understand the whole concept of engines from the very beginning to the very end of the whole engine concept. Not only are they just looking at the engines, but they're also pulling apart, as you can see here. So we're taking the engine from a bare bones straight across to an engine over here where we've got it fully pulled apart with cranks out and cams out. We're talking about cooling systems, we're talking about firing orders, we're talking about fuel types. We're even putting the machines on the dyno and then testing the engine from start to finish. So it's engines in a nutshell over the 3 weeks of this block. That isn't the only thing we deliver part of our apprenticeship. We also look at fabrication. So we have a dedicated fabrication shop with 8 welding bays with both MIG, arc and TIG welding. We have bench fitting facilities for hand skills, plastic cutting, oxyacetylene cutting, and we also have our machine shop with 3 lathes and 2 mills to really hone that precision and that precise engineering skills we want from our apprentices going forward. This is just in year 1 as well. So engines is the end of year 1, fabrication is the start of year 1. Going into year 2, year 3 and year 4, we're then looking at electrics, hydraulics. And to do this, we've got our own dedicated hydraulics lab. We've got our own dedicated electrics lab. Taking the wheels off the machine is what I often say. We don't want the engineers to ever think, oh, I can only work on one product, that's all I work on in the dealership. So in our hydraulics lab or electrics lab, we talk about hydraulics in the concept. Hydraulic is a hydraulics, regardless if it's on a combine, a baler, or on a tractor. Same with electrics. So in the hydraulics electrics labs, we're able to just deliver electrics and hydraulics and then transplant that information back onto the machine so they can see what they've learnt across all machines rather than just the one machine they prefer or used to work on. As we go into the year 3, we're now looking at our major components and our machines. So we're now looking at our combines, our foragers, our drills, our cultivators, our sprayers, our drive lines. So looking at CVT transmissions and mechanical transmissions on machines. But it's not just CLAAS. We are in a CLAAS building today. I'm stood here in my CLAAS clothing, but it is about the whole industry. So we deliver a land-based level 3 apprenticeship standard. That means across the industry, not just for CLAAS. So today, CLAAS don't offer a full hybrid combine, full rotary combine like Case do with the axle flow. So when we do combines, we will talk about the Case axle flow. We do not offer an electric drive machine, as some of our competitors do. So we talk about electric drive machines. If it's in this industry today, we talk about it because it's part of the industry standard that we're delivering. So it's not just what CLAAS sell, it's what we have got to the entire industry we have today. And then when we get into our year 4 groups, we're now looking at the advanced topics. So we're now looking at GPS, optimization, in-field diagnostics, and really pushing that diagnostic skills. So at the end of the 4 years, when they go through their EPA and they have signed off as a fully qualified land-based level 3 engineer, they've done everything from basic fabrication to machining, to engines, to transmissions, to hydraulics, to electrics, to diagnostics, to GPS. They are the full package, what we can then give back to our dealers and give back to our customers. And we have confidence that our engineers that we've trained are the best that they can be. So we're in our fabrication shop at the moment, and this is a big part of, and represents a big part of the financial investment that CLAAS UK has put onto the apprenticeship project. Previously, we did not have this facility at CLAAS UK. We were purposely delivering technical training, so how the new combine, the new baler, the new tractor, and what's changed and how we repair it, which is absolutely perfect for our technicians in the field. But for the new generation coming through, to learn those skills, we needed to invest. So the biggest part of the investment was spent here in our fabrication shop, where we have 8 welding bays. Each welding bay has its own MIG, its own TIG, its own arc setup. We have a dedicated plasma oxyacetylene bay. We have our own teaching welders in the background over here, so that we can bring the group around and do a demonstration live on our benches so that everyone can see what's happening. And in the next building across, we have our lathe and machine shop. Now, we are fully aware that not every dealership in our network uses lathes and machining. But at the same time, we don't want to just teach them how to just weld. We want to teach them the principles, the precision, the underpinning knowledge of engineering. So we talk about precision. If you're on a mill and you're talking about 0.5 millimetre, that's very precise. So when they're now reading a gearbox and it has a shim that's 0.5 millimetre, they understand how precise they need to be. So it's not just how to turn a bit of metal into a shape or how to weld a bit of metal together. It's that whole concept of making that apprentice that much more rounded, much more precise, much more better engineer for our dealers and for our end users and customers.
Right, so you join us in our CUK parts warehouse. So this for CUK is our main distribution hub for parts, so to support the likes of our dealer network. So the way it generally works is if a machine breaks down, the dealer hopefully has the part behind the shelf or in their own parts department. If they don't, then of course it then comes to CLAAS UK, and this is where we distribute the parts out to the dealers, and we're stocking all of our parts inventory for any of our products in the UK, be it combines, foragers, tractors, the list goes on. If for whatever reason we don't have it on the shelf, then that's when we then have to go over to Germany to Ham, which is again the global distribution centre, and that's when we're then sending the parts either into CLAAS UK or more so direct to dealer to keep the downtime down. So we as CUK have obviously had a big redevelopment on the building, and a big part of that was the parts distribution centre in here today. So we've made it a lot bigger. We couldn't go too further much back because of the railway that comes down the back of the site, so we had to go taller and we had to spread the building out as well. So the main point for us really is to try and stock a lot larger amount of parts here, a lot more of a value, and to obviously keep a better inventory of parts here in the UK, because we are of course trying to sell more products, but it's also to give the customers and the dealers trying at a better level of backup, and we do pride ourselves on that as CLAAS. For backup levels is what we've tried to achieve in the past, and that's what we're trying to achieve in a better form today as well. So we're stocking somewhere close to about £12 million worth of parts per day, and that number does fluctuate as we go into harvest. Of course, we try and stock a lot more parts as well, and that would be with a team of anywhere between maybe 8 to 14, depending if it's harvest season or out of harvest season as well. So you can kind of see the scale of the site and what we've increased and how we've made it bigger with the building we're in now. Right, so you now join us in Mans of Saxham. So we of CUK have it a little bit differently. We have CUK as one part of the building site, and we have the other part of the site as Mans the dealership. So Mans, of course, have several locations spread across East Anglia, and Mans of Saxham is the headquarters of that site, and that's what you see here today. So with the updates we made to the main building, we of course then updated the likes of the workshops for the Mans of Saxham's guys too. So you see some new facilities here, new crane systems, new filtering systems for the lubrication on the machines, and again it's a much better environment for the guys and girls here to work amongst as well. So you can even see the machines behind me. If they're in the workshop, it might be for one of many reasons. So again, obviously there's service work if there's any breakdown work, but of course PDI work as well. So again, you can see some machines being PDI'd in the background, and you can also see some combines coming in for the winter service as well. So again, the facilities we've got here is something we try and replicate across most of our linked dealers in the UK, and then of course we have our independent dealers, again, which are another big part of our business, and they would be supporting the CLAAS product, but alongside maybe some other franchisees of products as well. So I say a big part of our combine business, of course, is our Lexium product range, but we also now start offering our Trion product range as well. So obviously with James's machines, we're looking at Lexium 8700s, but our Trion product range stretches amongst 5 walkers, 6 walkers, and hybrid combines too. So the machine you actually see behind me is one of our CUK demonstrators from last year. It's a 6 walker Trion, and Trions actually equate for almost 50% of our combine business in the UK. So this machine is now in the process of going through its service stage, winter service stage, before it is then handed over to the customer that's purchased it. It'll have the changes done, and if there's any updates that need to be made to the combine between this year and last, they'll be done too. And then finally, what happens is it goes for its valeting stage as well. So the machines will be valeted here in-house, and essentially then, as the machines then work their way out to the customer, and of course they're nice and clean, and we're not going to be carrying any contaminated soil or ground into the next customer's farm. Right, you join us outside in the rain now, nice and lovely weather, but behind me you can see part of the Mans business. So again, Mans as a company have obviously the new sales, but of course we have, or they have, the second-hand machinery sales as well. So the building you see behind me is actually the Mans Used Machinery Centre. So the idea of the building is even if you're buying a second-hand machine, of course you'd still expect to get the full treatment as if you're buying a new machine, because of course at the end of the day, second-hand machinery of course is also worth a bit of money as well. So what the guys do from Mans is they valet the machines, and if the machine is second-hand and it's not been sold, then it actually goes into the building behind me, or if it's maybe some of the smaller cultivation machinery, you can see it's out here outside as well. And essentially that keeps it nice and stored and safe away over the winter, and then if we have any customers, or if Mans have any customers that want to come and see the products during the winter months, they've got somewhere nice and contained inside they can go and see the products. Right, guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed your quick behind the scenes as to what we've got going on here at CLAAS UK. Now, there's a lot more, obviously, to see that we couldn't cover today, but hopefully it shows some of the parts of our business and what we're trying to achieve, not just with the Saxham site, but also with what we're doing in our UK dealer networks as well, both from a sales and a support point of view, which for both of us, for both sides of those businesses, again, are just as important as the next. So again, looking after the machines, taking care of them, and also then developing and pushing the machines on in the future, whether that be for combines, for foragers, for any of our green line machinery, and also, of course, the tractors like you see behind me too.
We had a great day at CLAAS UK at Saxham yesterday, learnt lots about our new machines and really excited to seeing the performance improvements this coming harvest.